Okay, it is currently 1:30 and it's a Sunday, the 3rd of August, day 15 of me waking up at 4 a.m. and I've woken up energetic this morning, even though I'm waking up at 4 in the morning and I went to bed a bit later than I should have at around 9:15, so I only got about six and a half, probably just over 6.5 hours sleep. Not optimal, but you know what is optimal? My mindset, my mentality. And that's what I'm gonna dive into today, because I've been wanting to create this series of videos when I just talk down to earth, authentic to you guys, so you can get to know me, but you can also take some value from my experiences in the gym and how I've created my personal brand, where it's going, and who I'm becoming. So I'm creating a series that's going to be the MAHIDOG mentality series, and this is the first video, and I'm going to be talking to you as if you're just one of my down to earth lads, one of my good mates, or even my younger self, because that's how I'm going to transform my conversation to be the most authentic, raw, and just down to earth conversation. That's what I'm after. And I want to be able to get into this flow state where I can just talk off the top of my head and be more confident in how I talk. As I used to be quite insecure and conscious of all the people that are around me, these cars driving by. And I remember when I was in high school, I used to walk to school, to and from, in trainings, and I'd always have my headphones down. My head would be down, and I'd be conscious on all the people in the cars that are just driving by, probably listening to music and don't give a rat's ass about me, but I was thinking about how they would perceive me. And it creates a mental trap that is not healthy. And I know some of you guys are struggling with that right now, where you feel like you're constantly being judged. You're constantly being pushed into this negative bubble of yourself that you actually create in your own mind. A good quote that I've actually gone over recently is, we suffer more in our imagination than we do in reality. And so many of us think of, especially when we make a mistake and we slip up, all the negative things and the worst things that possibly could be happening, and we just suffer mentally in our own imagination, and then none of them even come out to be true. None of them. Every now and then you might slip up and someone might notice, but oftentimes that imposter syndrome, where you think all the spotlights are on you, and not you in the sense of you getting all this praise, but you in the sense that people are noticing all the slight shortcomings, flaws, whether it be in your actions or your personality or your physique, your whatever it may be. And I want you to know that I used to be that person that was insecure about all these little small flaws that I had in myself. And I'm currently shaping my future, and it starts with your mentality, that mindset. And that's why I'm making this series, because I'm so strong and altering my mindset to be the most confident person I can be. But I'm not going to be cocky. I don't want to get that pride and let that pride take across over top of me. I want to stay meek and humble. That's actually one key thing my dad used to always tell me. He would point to my heart and he'd point to a photo, an icon of Jesus, and he would say the words to be meek and humble of heart like Jesus. And that's a motto or mindset that has stuck with me for a very long time. And going into this period of my life where I'm transforming my whole life, my mindset, my career, my situation where I am with my house that I'm living with. Currently, I live with my mum and my younger sister. I pay board, and we live in an old, cold, wet, damp house. And I hate living in that environment of it being old, cold, wet, damp, and things are not where they should be in terms of a warm, dry, healthy home. There's a black mold that's growing in my room on the ceiling, and there's usually going to be mold that's going to start brewing up on the walls as well as we're getting into about halfway through winter. And I want to change that. I want to be able to build my career, my personal brand, where I'm able to give as much value as I can to my clients that I'm coaching, to be able to provide for them, so then I can provide for my mum and my sister, as well as where I'm living right now. That's a key mindset. As I used to think and doubt whether I'd be able to go all in with this personal brand because I'll get taken away by greed. But money is a neutral resource. And in the Bible, in Timothy, it doesn't say money is the root of all evil. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. And that's because if you become so attached to these worldly things such as money, it's vanity. And oftentimes it will take place of God and where God should be in your heart and in your mind. And then that's when it becomes an issue. But if you're using money as a means, and especially a means to serve or glorify others, I take that back, to serve or glorify God is what I meant, then by all means go all in. And that's what I've done, is when I realized that, and I wasn't holding myself back because of that, I just unleashed that MAHIDOG mentality of going all in, of journaling every day when I wake up at 4 a.m. Even when I don't feel like it. I feel like I'm tired half the time. I feel like I want to go back to sleep. And then all the reasons of why I should go back to sleep start popping in my head. Like, for example, it's the weekend. I'm not working today at either my coaching, or I'm not working at Domino's. You can sleep in. Oh, you worked really hard yesterday. You can sleep in. Or it's only an hour. That's how it starts. You slip up once, you're going to slip up twice. You're going to slip up 3 times. And you're going to start creating a momentum. Instead of it going positive for you, it's going to go negative, because nothing is neutral. It's the law of accumulation. Everything is either going for you or against you. Nothing is neutral. It's either going towards your goals or against your goals. It's either going to build the man you want to be or take away from the man you want to be. And half of you guys don't even know who you want to be. I was in your shoes where I was a bit lost, but you have to be honest with yourself. You have to start questioning your values. What's your purpose? And why you can't get what you're wanting. And when I say want, you have to make sure it aligns with your values. That's why I mentioned at the start that you have to know your values. And for me, my faith comes first. God comes first. And then secondly, it's my relationships with people such as my mum, my siblings, my friends. That's what I'm trying to create, is better relationships. As a lot of our life, the quality of our life is determined by the quality of our relationships. And that's why I've actually started to learn and read more into communication and social skills. It's just a skill. A lot of people think someone just naturally, and it's only a talent to be good with people, and that you don't have a personality. That's a limiting belief you're placing on yourself right now. It's a skill, and every skill can be learned, just like a habit. All those bad habits you have were learned. You don't just be born with habits. They're learned. And right now, I'm on a journey to learning the best habits and building the best habits so I can become the best man I can be. And that's a part of that mentality, that MAHIDOG mentality. We don't give up in here. And if you're watching this video and you've watched to the end right now, I want you to tell me where you're going in your life. What's your goals? What do you want to achieve? I was just talking to my mate Daniel yesterday, and he was feeling down, and I know what he's going through because he's got a lot of time on his hands, and when you have a lot of time on your hands and you're bored, that's where you're going to go down in a spiral path. We all have heaps of time on our hands. It's a gift. It's been given to us. And if you feel like you're overwhelmed, it's because you're not managing your time. And big part of managing your time is priorities. So you need to make sure you're filling your time with positive things, that law of accumulation that's going on your positive side of your ledger towards your goals, towards the man you want to be. And back to what I was talking about with Daniel, is I asked him where he wanted to go, and he mentioned he wanted to be a coach, right? And I dived deeper because I used to be in his shoes where someone would ask me and I'd be very vague. You need to be specific, and you need to question yourself, what you value, and be specific on where you want to go. Honest. But don't let these limiting factors and beliefs you have in your head start telling you why you can't do it. A lot of people think of reasons why they can't do it before they can think of how and what they even want with clarity. So think of what you want, be honest. And then all you got to question is yourself is, why aren't you there? Well, and that's when you're going to get all these limiting beliefs coming upon you. And write them down and start crossing them out and figuring out how you can eliminate them. And that's what I did with me. As mentioned, when I was wanting to grow this personal brand, a big limiting factor was me because of the values I had with my faith, that going all in, I wouldn't be able to go all in because it doesn't align with my faith. So then I first identified the limiting factor, questioned, well, what does it actually mean to be a devout Christian, specifically Catholic for me, and work hard and grow a business? Can you be Catholic and grow a business and work hard? And part of the journey, it was about, well, it's been going for quite some time figuring it out, but during that period, I found a lot of resources online and books just from simply searching online. And one of the persons I actually figured out, which is kind of ironic because I work there, is in Domino's. The owner is Tom Montague or Monaco. I can't remember. I probably mispronounced his last name, but he was a successful businessman, but also a devout Catholic, and he was able to grow his business. And he mentioned a few of his trials along the way, and he acknowledged that sometimes he was slipping up. But you can still be a successful business so long you don't see it as an end, but rather a means. And that's what I'm doing right now, is creating this business as a means to be able to support others and glorify God. That's my focus here on this MAHIDOG mentality. And this is episode 1. And we're going to be pumping these videos out on the regular. So you're going to hear more of me, more confidently. And I'm going to dive into raw emotion, just straight, authentic conversations. Because I want you to succeed. I want you to find out what you're passionate about, what you're talented and gifted about. Don't give me this crap that you're not talented or gifted at anything. There's things that come to you that you learn quicker and you can execute better than other people out there. And those are your gifts and talents. You just need to switch your mindset, that mentality, so you can start becoming the man you want to be able to achieve what you're wanting to achieve. So that's the end of this video. I'm about to head home, cook myself a feed, and continue on the grind. We're getting things off, we're ticking things off, and making this video was one of the things I ticked off. I just made a start. I was nervous and unsure about how this would go, but you know, even if it's awkward at first and maybe it's not as smooth at first, we're going to get there. The main thing is we took action, and I want you to take action. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. We're going to keep building. Let's go.